Good evening. You are watching My Media Prime Television, and this is Prime News with me, Fon Quinta, broadcasting live from our studios in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. We begin with Back to School 2020-2021 in Ekona village, Muyuka subdivision, southwest region of Cameroon, where schools are still deserted, with parents and pupils stranded, especially those who don't have the means to send their kids to other regions where schools are effective. Now, our southwest-based correspondent Diob Moki Regan, when investigating, and now reports.
I am at Ekona, a village in Moyoka subdivision, today the 9th of October 2020, and I find myself in one of the primary school, that is the government primary school CDC Ekona, one of the camps we have here in Ekona. The place is deserted as benches have been packed since 2018. Last time that there was a class here, it was on the 24th of April 2018, and this is the office of the head teacher. It's government primary school CDC Ekona, and this is the office of the head teacher. You can see everything is being abandoned because of the ongoing Anglophone crisis. The door is widely open, and you can see readers, things like textbook from our students, junior primary school English 2. These are the textbook, all abandoned. Nobody is here to look after documents of the school. You can see all the documents, reader, everything has been abandoned. Signing off from the Catholic school, I made a stop at Bethlehem Royal High School here in Ekona, and the campus is deserted. No student is spotted anywhere within the campus. It should equally be noted that this campus have just been abandoned, and nobody is seen anywhere within the campus of Bethlehem Royal High School here in Ekona. Signing off from the Bethlehem Royal High School here in Ekona, I made a stop at the Presbyterian School here in Ekona. I am at Presbyterian Primary School Ekona, and this is the situation. No people is found here at the level of the Presbyterian School Ekona. The place is deserted as no classes is ongoing. Mind you, it's a 4th day of school resumption for the 2020-2021 school year. No sign of any academic work ongoing here at the Presbyterian Primary School Ekona. At the moment, I find myself at Government High School Ekona, Lycée de Ekona, and this is the structure of Government High School Ekona. Here in Government High School Ekona, there's no hope for school resumption. This is the structure. The whole place is deserted. As you can see, you see the whole place is forest. The whole place is deserted, and this is one of the popular schools we have in Moyoka subdivision before the outbreak of the Anglophone crisis. It is Government High School Ekona. The only place which is open is the office of the principal of Government High School Ekona. The whole place is closed, the lab is closed, but the only place that is open at the level of Government High School Ekona is the office of the principal. When I say it's open, it's not like somebody came, opened the door. No, we met the office wide open. Nobody is spotted anywhere at the level of Government High School Ekona. Some of the people we met here in Ekona spoke to the microphone of My Media Prime Television.
Now, so all we do now, so we like a school come up for Ekona. They know they fine, but we like a the team be fine.
I don't know Ekona. My friend they go school with Boya. We don't get money to go school.
My name is Diob Moki on special assignment for My Media Prime Television for the school resumption at the level of Ekona, a village in Moyoka subdivision.
Still ahead in the news, to boost the education of some underprivileged children in Kmer, division of the southwest region of Cameroon, the Janice Forest Foundation handed some didactic materials to these children, most of whom have lost their parents. Now, Tamfu Sidwandimbe reports from Kumba.
Some underprivileged children in the town of Kumba, southwest region of Cameroon, will smile back to school following reception of school materials on Wednesday from the Janice Forest Lost Fathers and Children Foundation. This, according to collaborators of the foundation, will go a long way to boost the education of these children, most of whom have lost their fathers or both parents.
We believe that from the back-to-school packages that they have collected, they'll be able to go to school, first of all, freely because they already have access to their books.
School items were handed to the children, plus COVID-19 materials, in order to fully equip them for school as the 2020-2021 academic year begins.
We have face masks, hand sanitizer, because we know in schools now you don't have a face mask, you're not able to make your way in class. So we also have books as required for their various classes. We have rulers, we have pencils, we have sharpeners, we have erasers, we have pens, and we have pencils. And then to top it all, we have the school bag that will carry up all of it.
Some of the children, plus their guardians and single parents, appreciated and showered words of blessings to the founder and CEO of the foundation, Madam Janice Forrest.
That the good work you have started, that she will not stop it in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Let the good Lord, the angel, the Lord protect her wherever she is working, in her office, whatever she is, bless her children, and I wish them heaven and last in Jesus' name.
To some collaborators and volunteers of the foundation, they believe children will find it easy to move on with their education following the gesture made by the founder.
These are children without their parents, so we have come up with an initiative to give them books, go back to school, which we aid them in learning. We pray that as they are happy with this aid, their future will be bright.
First of all, I want to thank Madam Janice Forrest for this program. You feel the privilege for me to be part of it. Madam Janice, we want to thank you so much for taking care of or thinking about fatherless children, for your care, for your love. Only God will reward you.
Madam Janice Forrest, through a video call, encouraged the children and urged them to impress her by working hard in school, and this will add more value to her cause as she fights for the well-being of the underprivileged.
Now, 95% of coronavirus cases in Cameroon have recovered, while 1.9% fatality rate has been registered. These statistics were reviewed during the Interministerial Committee meeting of October 8, chaired by Prime Minister Chief Dr. Joseph John Gute in Yaoundé. Yesterday's session was equally to evaluate resumption of schools in Cameroon, as Staff Lady Nora Kakebi tells us more on the following report.
Prime Minister and Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph John Gute, in an interministerial meeting yesterday, October 8th, focused on the government's response strategy on the coronavirus pandemic in the country. Ministers in the education sector in Cameroon have been called to scrupulously supervise the application of the COVID-19 barrier measures in all schools. On his part, the basic education boss, Laurent Serge Tundingwa, says he's hopeful with the resumption of schools, especially in the northwest and southwest regions, as lessons effectively started on October 5th.
We resumed the school year with a lot of hope, as far as we saw in the southwest and northwest region that classes effectively resumed.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Nalova Pauline Lionga, equally expresses some degree of satisfaction that some schools in the troubled regions of the country have finally reopened their doors after 3 years and more.
I'm so happy to announce schools in Lubialem that have not been open for the past 3 years are open this year, 3 schools. In Kupemaninu Nguba, they are also open after 3 years. GHS Bomaka, we have schools in mile 16, and we have schools in Moya. Well, everybody who knows those were the hotbeds of rebellion by the separatists.
The session actually gave an appraisal of the school resumption, especially in the primary and secondary sections across the national territory. On the other hand, the current situation of the coronavirus pandemic in the country was also a point of focus, as it was disclosed that Cameroon has a 95% recovery rate. Dr. Manauda Malachi assured Cameroonians that out of the 21,203 infected cases, 20,117 have been declared free. Prime Minister Joseph John Gute stressed the need for barrier measures to be strictly observed and applied in the various school milieux, with both education ministers having their eyes on the ground. The PM equally instructed the health boss, Dr. Manauda Malachi, to continue implementing the anti-COVID-19 response plan scrupulously.
Now, after months of inactivity, the National Airlines Corporation, Camer, is set to resume flights this October 12, 2020. The information was made public yesterday during a press conference in Douala, which also saw the presentation of the 144-seater Boeing 737. Odre Zadza completes the story.
This 144-seat Boeing 737 presented by the lone national airline Kmer has been rented from Ukraine for a period of 3 months and will enable the airline begin operations within 4 regions of the country, notably Douala, Yaoundé, Marwa and Gara. The engine, according to the technical director of Kmer, is safe for flights.
We have been passing through the development of a number of states to make sure that the aircraft is safe and airworthy.
The director of operations of Kmer says they have learned from past mistakes.
You have to start with a very modest schedule so people can get used to the fact that the airplane is back, that flights are back. And things have not been easy. And we had a long time to prepare ourselves. And we have taken all the necessary measures to limit delays.
The Boeing 737 is coming to add to the 2 Chinese MA-60 aircraft which the Cameroonian company already possesses. In effect, on June 22, 2020, Kmer suspended flights due to the coronavirus pandemic, a decision which penalized a total of 371 employees as they were given technical leave and equally rendering mobility within the 4 regions cited hectic. The information on the Star of Cameroon resuming flights, an important sector of the economy of the country, has therefore come as a sigh of relief to many.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Prime News on My Media Prime Television. We now take you out of Cameroon into the African continent, where lots of news have been rocking the world of entertainment and sports. Staff Lady Dolingonde tells us more in the following report.
Ethiopia's late son Beth Gide has smashed the women's 5,000 meters world record in Valencia, Spain. The 22-year-old clocked at 14 minutes, 6.62 seconds to better the 14 minutes, 11.15 set by another Ethiopian Tirunesh Dibata 12 years ago. Gide's success comes 4 days after another Ethiopian Sura Kiata won a shining victory at the London Marathon, as the Guardian described it to be the biggest shock in London Marathon history. And now talking about the African pop culture, the recently popular Ghanaian AY Poyo, the GOAT hit maker, talks being the face of Ghanaian rap and now his journey into fame.
I'm the GOAT, AY Poyo is a full-time entertainer, a rapper, an actor. Watch out!
Coming up with this warning to all rappers, Poyo says he'll be the face of music.
I'm the GOAT, everybody watch out, man. Right now, I'm the face of hip-hop and music, whatever artists they are. If they don't take their work serious, I will take all, and then I'll be the face of music.
But who is AY Poyo?
So the A stands for amazing, and then the Y is Yao, and I'm Yao. I inherited Poyo from my boss who introduced me to the comedy industry.
Unlike the regular stand-up comedy, Poyo's trend is rare and quite unique.
I'm the GOAT. I needed something that would let me blow. I needed something catchy for people to vibe with the GOAT song and come to drop. So they were like, I'm the GOAT, I'm the GOAT. Should I add meh because GOAT is an animal and it bleeds meh? I'm the GOAT, meh. Oh, that is fire.
With a 1.4 million social media fan base, Poyo still seems to be in a state of shock.
Got there, said, boss, I'm the GOAT. You are the GOAT. Come and play with your people. So I play with them. By the time I realized the Cameroon has finished, and so it was amazing. I didn't expect to be that level, but right now it has automatically changed my life because I've gotten international recognition. When people ask me for money, I just had showed them the picture. No, I don't have money, but I have Snoop Dogg comments on IG. I'm over glad. I'm hoping for Corona to go and then we start touring.
And like they say, remember your background no matter where you go to. Poyo seems to be the perfect ambassador when it comes to these.
Just came to orphanage home and we donated some stuff to them. After my video reached 1 million views on YouTube, I decided to share the revenue generated with the needy.
But how old is the new face of Africa, and for how long has he been into his newfound dream?
I am 20 years old and I have been doing rap and comedy since I was in my mother's womb.
I was in Accra, staying with my mom every day, going to comedy shows and stuff.
But what's the secret behind his chains?
For me, this chain here represent the continent, especially Ghana. We are rich with gold. This chain here, I always pray to be rich. I have hope. You see this heavy chain, I'm breaking through all the barriers.
In appreciation, Poyo says there's more pregnant in the future for her.
All the African countries, I really appreciate their love and support. Right now, I'm working on a project that is my album. So, expect something big, just big, you know, big.
In what's making news out of the African continent, Genda Pelton Blanche visited some countries and compiled the following for us.
The World Food Programme has won the 2020 Nobel Peace Prize for its efforts to fight hunger and improve conditions for peace in conflict areas. According to the chairwoman of the Norwegian Nobel Committee, Berit Reiss-Andersen, the recognition offered by the committee is in order to turn the eyes of the world to the millions of people who face a threat of hunger. The award was also a call to the international community to fund the United Nations agency adequately to ensure people of the world don't starve. Health chiefs in North England have warned that some hospitals in North England are set to run off beds for COVID-19 patients within a week, stating the disease fast unfolding second wave will seriously disrupt normal NHS care for a second time. NHS trusts in the North East and Northwest are getting so many new COVID-19 cases daily. Matt Ashton, Liverpool's Director of Public Health, disclosed that the city's two main acute hospitals trusts were admitting so many new COVID-19 patients daily. In his words, "I do not want to panic people, but within 7 to 10 days, our hospital will be at the level they were at the peak of the pandemic." The number of COVID-19 patients in hospitals across the Northeast and North Cumbria has jumped fivefold within 3 weeks. Pakistan has decided to block social media app TikTok for failing to filter out immoral content. According to 3 top government officials directly involved in the decision, the platform hasn't been able to fully satisfy Pakistani authorities, even after they demanded that effective mechanism to block immoral and indecent content be put in place. In July, Pakistan's telecommunication regulator issued a final warning to the video app over explicit content posted on the platform. The app has already been blocked in India and it faces scrutiny in other countries, including Australia and the United States of America.
And in the world of sports, the president of the Cameroon Karate Federation, Emmanuel Wakam, and 5 of his close collaborators have been banned by Cameroon's National Olympic and Sports Committee. This follows allegations of sexual harassment levied on them by 10 young girls within the federation. The first vice president, Eveti Mbembe Paul, and others are on the waiting banned list, while they are expected to answer present at the National Gendarmerie next Monday. And the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon will this Saturday, October 10, 2020, at the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium play host to the Bright Stars of South Sudan in an international friendly built for 3 p.m. South Sudan lost 0-3 to PWG Social Football Club of Bamenda on Wednesday, while the Intermediate Lions suffered a 1-0 loss to a lead one-side Panthers Sportive of Ndei. Both sides are using the friendly to fine-tune tactics ahead of upcoming competitions. The sports stories end today's edition of Prime Flash on My Media Prime Television. Ewan and Nolinga Eli compiled and produced the news and for presentation. I am Fonquita. Stay tuned to more programs on My Media Prime Television, and up next is Prime Hour with Kum Leonard. Have a blessed weekend.